Greetings from Cape Town. I've just started our Sunday live. Who am I in the silence between all those thoughts? Today we're going to talk a little bit about our busy mind, and I'm just giving you all a little bit of time to join, to wave. Hello, welcome, Julia. Welcome. It's so nice to have you join me on this beautiful day as I come live from Cape Town. Good morning, Laura, California. So nice to have you here. Wonderful. Welcome. We're just spending a bit of time to arrive, to set our space. And it's always a nice way to arrive into any moment is to just take a little bit of time. I'm always telling myself as I enter a moment, it could be a moment with my family, could be a job moment, right? With a client, it could be a big performance moment. Hello, greetings from Cape Town. Now, do I take a little bit of time to come into that moment? So I have a little arrival ritual just to remind myself I'm both the storm and the calmness. Welcome to everyone. Welcome. It's so nice to have you join me on this beautiful, it's an early evening here in Cape Town on a beautiful Sunday. Hello to everyone. Welcome, greetings. Who am I in the silence between all those thoughts is what I kind of wanted to bring into the space today. I was just looking at what I'd been posting through the week on our beautiful channel for our Smiles for Change, Seeds for Change Instagram experience and account, which you've all been part of, really establishing this beautiful platform for our Smiling One Foundation and the beautiful work. Hello, welcome for the beautiful work that we do in the world here in South Africa. So you all, I really treasure each one of you as you join me today, and also wanting to really gift you some of our teachings to share a little bit more of our world with you. And certainly when it comes to thoughts, when it comes to that, to our mind, to the trickster mind, which we could also call it, that is often, all these thoughts is often what define us, define our experience, and where we block ourselves and actually imprison ourselves. So I want to start with a little quote by one of my most favorite poets, which is Rumi. Now Rumi says, so he invites us and he says, be empty of worrying, think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is wide open? So that's a good place to start, so be empty of worrying, think of who created thought. And why do you stay in prison when the door is wide open? So, of course, the predicament here, the challenge here is that we are unaware that we are in a prison. We actually think that our thoughts define who we are, and we are rarely challenging these thoughts. So it's also a big part of the new book that I've recently launched, the 10 leadership lessons from prisons to boardrooms. And it's definitely been one of the big teachings over the many years. I've been so privileged to walk next to people, souls, in highly diverse environments here in South Africa, to really begin to challenge the thoughts I'm having, to really, look a little bit deeper into what part of me creates these thoughts. And I also would like you to think about today, as you join me, as you come into the live, some of the thoughts that are part of your experience, some of the thoughts you sit with daily. And I just want to read to you. I did a post for the week, and which is also why I chose this theme today. So one of you commented on this post I did with the quote saying, so who are you in between your thoughts? One of you commented, welcome, and said, and I'm just going to read it here on my computer, so I'm just looking here, that it's incredibly difficult for me to silence my mind. I'm always thinking about so many things, and when I try to slow down and relax, I feel guilty about not using my time to its full potential. And it's certainly something that I can recognize myself. So I thought it's such a wonderful one to bring into the space. And some of you might also actually sit with these experiences of, am I, where we're questioning ourselves and we're feeling guilty. Now, it's really important when we think about who created thought. So who is it in me that feels this enormous sense of guilt? I am both the storm and the calmness. So who in me creates that storm and prevents me from fully expressing myself and even relaxing into this moment? Lovely, here's somebody sharing, say, my head is never empty. And I totally can relate to that 100%. And it's just so important, and that's why one of my big practices, actually the ultimate practice, is to learn to pause. Learn to really realize that actually that thought I have created, first of all, so that's part of our ownership practice. I have created that thought. This is my creation. It's my reality, and it's based on some of the experiences I have. So if you can imagine, you all have a little rucksack. So in that rucksack, we deposit a lot of experience, and they create a lot of noise. All this data often is stored from a place of fear, us not feeling comfortable about different situations. And the thing is, all this data, all this storage, we carry with us. So our bags get more and more heavy as we travel through life. So when we are asked this question, who am I in the silence between my thoughts, it would kind of suggest that you are not your thoughts. And very often on this journey that we offer here at Smiling One, and when we journey alongside our clients and our beneficiaries, it's one of the places we start. It is begin to actually notice who in me speaks, who in me is responsible for all this noise that I'm creating. And once we get a little bit closer to listening into the storm, we'll be able to identify what we need to silence. And if it's really relevant, is it really relevant that guilt steals our moments? Is guilt, for example, now in this beautiful example that we're just using as a little case study, is guilt something that we carry in the present moment, or is it a past moment that we keep dragging with us? Because that is what creates this present experience. It actually steals our presence, and it is impossible for us to relax because our body is constantly tense and worrying. So the first practice, dear ones, is to learn to breathe. Laura, thank you for sharing a thought here. Growing up in New York, I never got to stop and take everything in. When I moved to Montana, it was a relief to be able to breathe, and I got to learn to take my time, which really helped me focus on me. That's lovely. Thank you so much for that contribution, and I love these contributions. Here's another one. I think it's come from the past, what you went through while growing up. Absolutely, and very often we don't question it. So we just carry that rucksack, and we get more and more stressed, and actually our stress turns into illness. So my invitation to you today is really, as we join each other here on this beautiful Sunday, is to take a moment to stop and to breathe and to pause and to allow ourselves, to give ourselves permission to challenge the noise. We actually don't have to let the noise take over our lives. So Laura says, now I take that with me to California, and it helps me everywhere I go. And that's really also part of the mindfulness practice, right? The more we build some fitness in that I'm not the noise, I'm not all these busy thoughts, I'm not this trickster mind, I am what's in between, right? I'm the silence between the thoughts. So can I practice that a little bit more? And as Laura said, the more fitness we're gaining, the easier it gets to bring that memory, the quiet spaces, the open spaces with us into busy moments. So as you arrive into your day, as you arrive into a task, into a meeting, whatever it is that feels challenging, because that's mostly where the noise gets wild, right? Can I take a moment to arrive? Can I breathe? Can I reset myself? And with that moment, calm myself, center myself, ground myself, plug myself into who I really am. So here's another beautiful comment. It's something I'm learning to do now, learning to pause, breathe, and take in the moment. And right, it sounds so simple, right? Actually, it sounds really simple, but I know it's not as simple if the storm is big. But it's all about practice there once. And now you can imagine, as we go into prison, we go into these high-risk areas. Of course, we have clientele in so many environments. And even in these spaces, you can actually learn to pause. And there is a beautiful little story in this book about Cosmo. So he was one of the juveniles that joined our process. And he didn't really understand the language really well because his first language was Xhosa. And I was a little bit worried, will he be able to understand the concepts? Will he be able to integrate all the teachings? But actually, Cosmos, all that he really needed in the 3 months that he joined our process, our program, he just needed to learn to pause, to breathe, and kind of build these oxygen canisters. When he started session, he was super, super stressed. And over a period of 3 months, just by learning to breathe, he took breath with him into the prison cell. Suddenly he found a different space inside of him, because guess what? You are incredibly resourceful. There is a sacred inner well inside of you. And the more we practice this beautiful silent space, the more we discover that inner resourcefulness. So I'm so glad that you're joining me today, and my wish for you is, as you start a new week, that you take the pause with you, that you think about a new thought of pausing and silencing instead of just the noise, that you choose to make decisions in your calmness instead of your storm, and take those moments, just take those moments to breathe, to plug in. So let's do that together. Yeah, are you ready? Just take a moment. Let's just sit back wherever you are. Just take this moment to pause and allow this moment to be all there is. Close your eyes wherever you are and just give yourself the gift of this space. Notice where you are, if it's stressful, if you're peaceful, if your mind is busy, if there's anxiety or fear. And all you focus on is just to breathe deep inhales and exhales. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, inhaling and exhaling. And when the mind wanders, as the mind tends to do, just give it space and call it back into this moment of inhale and exhale, pausing, breathing, and just being. Just allowing this moment to be all there is. you can return to the day-to-day just now. But gift yourself a silent space beyond thinking. And allow the body to relax, soften into your shoulders, your arms and your hands. And soften into your back and your lower back, into your knees, your feet. And it is in these moments as we practice to silence that the noise can get a bit louder, but just meet that kindly and lovingly. It takes practice. Day by day, you gain a little bit more fitness. And just finding silent spaces. And take one last deep breath in. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And release. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes again. And also just to finish off with a Rumi quote, as Rumi says, let silence be the art you practice. So really turn it into practice, turn it into art, and be patient with yourself. It's not a race, you know. Every day show up, be consistent in what you do. I do, for example, every morning, I get onto my balcony now. I meditate at 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning as the forest comes alive and the birds are greeting a new day. I sink into myself, silence my busy mind, and that has become my morning ritual. So for whatever works for you in your day, wherever you are, gift yourself the art of practicing silence. I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of love here from Cape Town. I want to again thank you for your incredible support of our Smiling One team, our Smiling One Foundation. Thank you for continuously following us. We are excited to keep building the community and of course also building the support from each one of you. I hope you tune in to all the beautiful little posts from my amazing team of change agents. I am the luckiest person in this world. I just have an awesome team, and every day we learn so much from each other. Sending you all lots of love, and to you too, to Denmark, selv tak. Thank you to all of you for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and may your week be really one where you practice to silence, practice to have your presence. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you, Laura, for your wonderful support. Lots and lots of love from me, from us at Smiling One, to all of you. See you soon, next Sunday, same time.